So with the new season, we also have a brand new assault rifle called the FR Avancer, and this is supposed to be similar to the FAMAS from BO1 or the FFAR that we had from Cold War that was in Warzone previously. So it's very similar to that with the fast fire rate in the 900-ish range. So I did some more testing to get the damage profile, but this is just more proof of concept. You pretty much go into the pregame lobby, you fire the weapon, as you can see here. You hit the target and then you look at the scoreboard and on the scoreboard, it'll say how much damage it did. So in this particular case, it says it did 36 damage. And then what happens is then I shoot a different part of the body. I back up, those types of things. And then I get another damage profile from a little bit further away. So we can go ahead and kind of see what the damage ranges are. This goes up to 66. You subtract 36. So now we know that that damage profile was 30. And pretty much you do that for the various body parts and various ranges. And that's kind of how we figure it out before it gets data mined by sim.gg. And then obviously transferred over on True Game Data site. So this is pretty early. And then we go into a match and we figure out the fire rate by looking at the fire, you know, how big the mag is. And then we look at how long it takes to fire those rounds, which you can kind of see here. It has a pretty decent fast fire rate without modifying anything. And it takes about 3.85 seconds. And then you convert that in, you get the math, and then it'll spit out numbers of TTKs. And then you get a bunch of numbers like this, which don't overthink it. Pretty much what we're looking at here is the number of shots to kill. This number highlighted in this section right here where it says 18.33. We have 14.5 and then 12. And that gives you kind of a theoretical TTK based on an average shot placement. If we go ahead and put the number here for 12, you can see the TTK will drop down to 718. So that's what it is on the close range, up to about 35 meters. And then we go ahead and do that out for the medium range, 14.5. So that means the TTK will sit somewhere between 849 at medium range up to 914. So I would expect that this should perform pretty good on a map like Vondo or Ashika Island, where most of the engagements are a little bit closer. And then once you get to about 50-ish meters, it does have another drop off. Keeping in mind, this can be pushed out a little bit farther with certain weapon attachments and tunings. But in general, you get a slower TTK of about 18 shots to kill, sometimes 19, but more often than not 18. We can go ahead and check out that, and that brings it down to 1110. And what does this mean in the big scheme of things? Without the rest of the weapon changes, although there were a couple, we can kind of look that this will sit kind of somewhere around the Tempest Razorback, which is still probably better since that didn't get touched in this update. And then the M13B was probably going to be closer to 1065 TTK because they did buff the headshot multiplier. So I think overall, this is kind of like a similar version of the M13 and the Razorback. Pretty straightforward. This is kind of the build, how you would build it out. You kind of just copy how you would normally build a class setup. You could get rid of the barrel and put on ammunition. You could put on a suppressor, which some people like. That'll give you a little bit of extra range. A lot of people will generally go with the Harbinger since you get the damage, range, bullet velocity as the main two things. Not too much recoil control elements there, but you can kind of see how this build works out. This would be like a low recoil build, pretty straightforward. You shoot your target, but as you can see, it is a lot of shots to kill, and that is the downside. But it is a low recoil gun that feels good, easy to use, but it's not going to be setting any records of getting you death comms where people are like, what the heck did they kill me with? So hopefully you guys like it. Try it out for yourself. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.